This is Jennifer Albright, and I'd like to review a cultural challenge that I experienced several years ago. As a new nurse, I cared for an Amish gentleman hospitalized with dementia. Although Amish communities were located about 30 miles away, I had never met or cared for an Amish person, and he did not have any family present. I remember being concerned that I could be unknowingly compromising his religious or cultural beliefs. He had no family, so my insights were limited. I had thought about him on occasion over the years, but admittedly did not take the action I should have to learn more and become culturally aware. A recent event gave me insight into the influence of Amish culture on patient care. Last fall, I performed biometric health screens for a large employer of Amish builders in southern Indiana. I spoke with a peer who frequently worked with the Amish community prior to the biometric screenings to gain insight. The life and priorities of the Amish men impacted our discussions heavily. The religious faith and family-centeredness of these men was very evident in their voiced motivations to seek better health. They had many duties to perform and wanted to be healthy to care for their families and their land. Many expressed infrequent MD visits and limited or no dental care. None of the men had cars. They walked up to 5 miles to church several times a week, but relied on a driver for transportation to and from work or beyond the immediate community. They also had no personal phones or internet connectivity, so they were very limited on informational resources. There was a community phone for emergencies or calling drivers as necessary. Most had a limited diet, frequently consisting of eggs, animals raised on the farm, dairy products, potatoes, gravies, vegetables, and baked goods. Limited refrigeration and ability to travel, limited options beyond what was able to be grown or made at the home. Although a few took medications, most expressed no intention to take medications unless they were very ill. However, vitamins and supplements were very popular within this group. They were interested in their health, but expressed limited interest in seeking preventative screenings or routine medical exams. I found several things that I found very interesting that I'm going to use in my future practice in the event that I do take care of any more Amish members of the community that I wanted to share as well. The Cleveland Clinic publishes a list of healthcare provider insights into Amish culture. The first one is that most Amish do not have health insurance. The community pools money into a community fund that supports the needs of the population. They believe purchasing insurance shows a lack of faith in God. Amish only seek medical care when deemed medically urgent or emergent. They are careful consumers since using community resources for care. There are many sects of Amish communities and beliefs may vary. Amish believe heavily in herbal and faith healing. They believe medications can help, but God ultimately heals. Receipt of phone calls should be limited to urgent or emergent situations. They may need to leave a message to be delivered to the person and await a return call from the community phone. Pennsylvania Dutch is a second language often used by the Amish and is often used when trying to preserve privacy in conversations within the healthcare institutions. The Amish want to be seen by experienced clinicians. Interns or student leaders should remain as observers with their care. Amish education ends with 8th grade, so educate at that level or less. Role modeling, pictures, and demonstrations are effective educational methods for this group. The Amish may refuse treatment over lack of money or poor understanding of their condition and medical options. The church must grant permission to go to a hospital because the church pays for the care. Organ transplants are allowed with the exception of the heart, which is believed to be the soul of the body. And plan for discharge well in advance as drivers will need to be arranged for transportation. End-of-life care is typically rationed in an effort to conserve community funds. They also prefer to die at home. My own sense of cultural understanding and personal spirituality was enhanced through this experience. I have a better understanding and feel a greater connection to the cultural ideals that the Amish hold. Their great sense of community and family is somewhat of a lost feature in today's society, so I found it comforting. This experience taught me to appreciate the simplicity, humility, commitment, and unspoiled authenticity of their way of life. They're a very hardworking and spiritual community that relies on the collective support and unified upholding of their religious and cultural ideals. Their way of life is very different than mine, but we share many of the same priorities and values. For me, this experience confirmed that we each have a story and perspectives that are influenced by our cultural background. Although our perspectives can be vastly different, we need to appreciate and respect how the differences can impact health care decisions and behaviors. I appreciated this quote by Stephen Covey, that strength lies in differences, not in similarities. Thank you.